guessed that the reason for his color blindness was that there was a blue liquid inside his eye. Ransom followed Dalton's will to the letter. He extracted one of the great man's eyeballs and cut it open. There was no blue liquid, so Dalton was wrong about his own eyeball. Instead, the problem must be to do with judgment, something between the brain and the back of the eye. Dalton may have got the cause of color blindness wrong, but he proved that the condition ran in families and that it came in just a few common forms. His work set the stage for nothing less than a revolution in the science of light and color. The commercial imperatives of the Industrial Revolution would lead to the discovery that the mind has a role to play in how we see color. The booming factories and towns of 18th century Europe urgently needed brighter and more efficient lamps and lanterns. Designing them would revolutionize our understanding of the true nature of light.
Now put the lens in. Out.
The key figure in this story was an American emigre living in Europe called Benjamin Thompson. Thompson did one of the most intriguing experiments ever on the behavior of light. But it started because he was trying to save money for his employers, the city of Munich. The Munich government gave him a really important job, which was to clean every single beggar off the Munich streets and put them in a newly designed workhouse, which Benjamin Thompson constructed. As a reward, Thompson became a count, Count Rumford. Now, one of the things his workhouse was going to need was lighting. And so Rumford decided to do a series of extraordinarily precise experiments to work out what the cheapest kind of lighting could possibly be. He wanted to compare the brightness of a candle with the brightness of sunlight, and to do that, he needed to stop down the sunlight that was coming into his lab. He used a series of coloured filters, but as he put coloured filters in front of the lamps, he noticed something absolutely extraordinary. When he used a red filter, he saw that the shadow cast by the lamp, which was black, had turned red, but the shadow cast by a nearby lamp had turned a rather beautiful turquoise. Now, the red shadow could be explained by the presence of the red filter, but where had the turquoise colour come from? Rumford tried to eliminate from his field of view everything except the turquoise shadow. He decided to look at the turquoise shadow through a tube painted black on the inside. And this was even spookier. To Rumford's utter amazement, when he used his tube so the only thing in his field of view was the blue shadow, its blueness disappeared.
I was not able even to tell when the coloured glass was before the lamp and when it was not. And though the assistant often exclaimed at the striking brilliancy of the shadow's colour, I could not discern in it the least appearance of any colour at all.
He couldn't see any colour change, whatever the assistant was doing. He saw a uniform shadow. Two people see the same thing differently. There could only be one explanation.
The colour exhibited by one of the shadows only is real. That of the other is imaginary, being an optical deception occasioned in some way unknown to us.
These colours that we see are actually the work of our own brains. They're not simply out there in the world. Rumford had shown, for reasons he didn't understand, that the human mind can add its own colours into the dull, colourless grey of a shadow. Rumford himself hoped that the effect of this discovery on the future of art and painting would be revolutionary, and so it was. Contemporary painters like Joseph Turner realised that coloured shadows would make their paintings more authentic, more psychologically real. This is the Fighting Temeraire. The shadowed side of the tugboat, instead of being grey, is tinged with violet to bring out the melancholy mood of the sunset. The shadows in Claude Monet's paintings of Rouen Cathedral are alive with colour. Yellow to evoke the haze of the midday sun, purple for the dying light of twilight. Rumford reckoned that the implications of the fact that colours are partly made up by the mind would then go far beyond painting. Rumford had a dream. If colours are